Welcome to the Atomium, very big touristic site here in Brussels, in Belgium. And because you know that everywhere there is tourism, this means that there's always big stories around the place. So the Atomium is actually produced, or it was constructed in 1958 during the Brussels World Expo. And it's a representation of iron crystals magnified to about 165 million times. But beyond that, you know, places always matter more than the surface meanings of what you see. And talking about Belgium, Brussels, of course, brings you to the whole complicated relationships between Belgium and Congo and Africa as a whole, because you remember the role of King Leopold and all of that. But what is very special is this place where we're standing. It's not just the Atomium that is here, it's the whole Hazel Plateau, which represents more than just the story of the Atomium constructed in 1958. It is in fact known that in the year 1894, the Belgian government, colonial Belgian government, has opened a first exhibition of a human zoo in this place, in this premises, maybe not exactly here, but in this Hazen Plateau somewhere, where over the years, the so-called Congo village or the African village was a human zoo, where Africans were brought here to be exhibited as tourists, to be exhibited as animals in a zoo for exhibition or something. And what is interesting is always to note that visitors to this place, tourists flock them in their thousands, and to see this African village, this Congo village somehow, and notoriously never treated the so-called humans in exhibition very well. Very important to note is that this did not just go on from 1894 to a very short time, but by the time this was being constructed in 1958, Congolese were still recruited to come here and be exhibited and be part of the exhibition around here. It's always good to know that most often the things that attract us so much around the world carry so much stories of injustice around them as well. And so that we don't just tell the exciting story of tourism, of the tourist site, but also what this place has represented, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but it's all part of that story. Of course, Belgium and Congo, the story is complex. Different forms of reconciliations are on the way, I would imagine. I heard recently that the Congolese government received an apology from Belgium for their role in the murder of Patrice Lumumba and all of that. So it was always a complicated story, one that has never seen an end. But this is one of the places where that story has a significance.